thank you for staying with Sunrise. The Caribbean Combined Cadet Force, Cadet Corps, will congregate in Jamaica this summer for a joint training operation and 2-week camp among high school student cadets from Jamaica, Cayman, the Bahamas, Antigua, Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, and so on. We're joined by Lieutenant Colonel Oswald SMILEY and Staff Sergeant Thomas to share more. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning, Staff Sergeant Thomas, and good morning, Lieutenant Colonel SMILEY, sir.
Morning, and thanks for having us. Thanks to your listeners, and morning to your listeners as well.
We have viewers too, you know, like our TV.
And your viewers.
Okay, very good. Because of late, persons have been excited to speak to our listeners, but people watch us, I would hope. And so we're here to talk about the Combined Cadet Camp. I say it right?
So it is the Caribbean Cadet Camp.
Okay, there we go.
For 2023.
No, this is not the first time, Lieutenant Colonel, that we're having this thing. It's an annual occasion, is it not? So
it is not the first time Jamaica is hosting the Caribbean Cadet Camp. The last time we hosted one was as far as back as 2014 in Portland. The Caribbean Cadet Camp is an initiative that came out of the Commandant's conferences that is kept every year, but the Caribbean Cadet Camp is kept every other year.
Okay, so every other year, and I'm thinking it's stretched across participating Caribbean countries, and it has now come back to Jamaica to host.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, when we think about bringing cadets together, tell us about the age group of children or participants who will be coming to Jamaica to participate.
So in general, the cadet age group range from approximately age 13 to 18. This year we'll pretty much replicate that. This year we'll be at the Clarendon College in Chapelton, Clarendon, and the camp ranges from the date of July 15 through the 29th.
Okay, so as of over July 15. So the weekend coming up, July 15, everyone will arrive.
Starting this Friday.
So 29.
Starting this Saturday, right through the 29th, we'll be mobilizing all the cadets across the region and the country that you have mentioned earlier.
And we will have participants with ages ranging from what you mentioned, from 13 to 18?
Yes.
Why is this important? And I'm going to bring you in just now, Staff Sergeant. What is it that is so important about having this camp with young people from across the Caribbean region?
I think it's important that we incorporate the cadet corps from the other islands so that we can get to interact with the different cadets from across each island, because training would be different for each island, and then we also get to socialize. So I think that's why it's very important that we have Caribbean Camp.
Now, Staff Sergeant Thomas, you are quite an impressive cadet, first of all. My note says you're a career cadet, which is so interesting because it means even at this young age, you would have been a part of your cadet corps for a very long time. Having just completed lower 6th form, you are the first female drum major for the 11th Battalion, the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force. Did you realize that you were on your way to being a historical young lady even from such a young age?
No.
So when were you introduced to drums when you joined cadets?
Yes, I was introduced to drums through the extension of Cadets Drum Corps. Because when you join cadets, you can either go infantry or drum corps, depending on where you're placed. And I was introduced to drums and other musical instruments through drum corps.
Wow, interesting. And through that positioning, Staff Sergeant Thomas is the highest ranking member of our battalion. So it is so lovely to have you here. And I see you speak about how socializing and learning from each other is one of the important aspects of this cadet camp. Now, Lieutenant Colonel, there are specialized activities that these young people from across the Caribbean can look forward to experiencing. What are some of those activities?
Thanks for that. A lot of persons, when they heard about cadet, they think about just march, left, right, left, right. But we have a holistic approach to our training. So persons and cadets can look out for some adventurous training from us. So as you heard earlier, we do music training, we do supervisory management, we do life skill training.
Supervisory
management.
Interesting, because they're leaders, they will have to
So we have a mandate and object to develop these cadets, and we operate under the team this year, empowering cadets, future leaders. And if they are future leaders, they are going to become patriotic citizens, responsible citizens in Jamaica and across the region. So we will be having musical training, first aid training, supervisory management, aeronautical training, marine and engineering training. We'll be taking them to experience watermanship training, kayaking, and we will be having them experiencing some outdoor adventurous training, life-saving skills, how to adapt to the environment. And a matter of fact, we have a fun activity with them, overnight exercise for them to experience cooking in the field, how you dig the ground and roast a breadfruit, etc.
Oh my, so survival skills.
Yes.
And not just survival skills for out in the quote-unquote wild, but survival skills to be able to survive, to live well with each other.
Yes, that's correct.
There's a part that you mentioned about, you know, raising up patriotic young Caribbean nationals.
Yes.
And I think about, you know, civics and how contentious the idea of teaching civics in schools.
Yes.
But the Cadet Corps is one of those places where civic pride has been at the center of how you engage young people across Jamaica.
And that is why we pride ourselves of being the premier youth organization in Jamaica and across the Caribbean to develop these young minds, male and female, to become responsible citizens in whatever country they live and serve.
Yes. Now, Lieutenant Commander, it's so interesting to ask the next one, because yes, we're coming together and then they go back with these skills to the countries they serve.
Yes.
What kind of collaborations develop, you know, over the years as Jamaicans go to other countries and now as we host?
Yes.
Do we see that the collaboration continues among these cadets?
Yes. So let me go back now to interject to put in that Jamaica also will be hosting the 36th stage of the Commandants Conference. And this is where the different Caribbean commandants come together to share knowledge, information, expertise, and this is where we network together to ensure that it's done on a yearly basis. And that said, we also discuss...
Lieutenant Commander, who are commandants? The people, those are the persons in charge of the cadet.
Right.
Just making sure for the viewers, for people like me.
No problem. So each country has what is called a commandant. And Jamaica's commandant is Brigadier the Honorable Errol E.V. Johnson. And he's the commandant for the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force here in Jamaica.
So we are hosting the conference where all of such persons from other Caribbean countries shall come together. Have conversations
have breakout rooms, have training session. Each commandant will take along their staff officer, their training adjutant officer, and they will discuss in different breakout rooms how we can improve cadetting across the region, or we can network more, or we can collaborate more to get these training activities.
So when we see cadets in school, it's not some ad hoc thing. There is strategy and policy that's guiding these organizations across, not only just across Jamaica, but across the Caribbean.
That is correct.
It's what you call it, a collective effort.
That is correct. That is correct.
I thought that would make sense, but it's so interesting to hear that that is exactly how it is. Now, Staff Sergeant, when you think of your experiences, what are you looking forward to at the upcoming camp?
First aid training.
Say again?
First aid training. I am most looking forward to first aid training, but I'm looking forward to other things as well, kayaking, rappelling, field activity too, but mostly first aid.
And okay, and is it that you have ambitions of becoming a nurse, a medical doctor, a first aid responder?
Military doctor.
A military doctor. Well, it would make sense from a career cadet at just the lower sixth form stage, already having years under her belt. As we wrap up, just remind us again of the date and time, and is there still time for local cadet corps to register, or that time gone?
Unfortunately, that time is gone. Again, the date is July 15th through to the 29th. I want to make a special invitation to the public to come in. We will be having an open day on Sunday, July 23rd, starting at approximately 10 a.m. The public can come
Where will
in
that be?
And get more information right there at Clarendon College, Chapelton, Clarendon, Jamaica, West Indies. On Sunday the 23rd, the door will be open. It will be a career and expo day. That day the public can come and get additional information.
Yes.
And we have partnered with other stakeholders to ensure that we have a good, successful camp this year.
5 seconds. About how many students on a whole are we expecting that we will be hosting here in Jamaica?
Approximately 800 overall.
That's remarkable. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel and Smiley and Staff Sergeant Thomas, for joining us this morning to tell us all about the Caribbean Cadet Camp 2023. Thank you so much for joining us.